Hello? Oh, yay. Hi, I'm Jenny Hesoun. I grew up in Burgoynesville, Tennessee. It's a very small town that has less than 2,000 people and no traffic lights. We have one blinking four-way stop. I moved to Tallahassee to do my undergrad and master's in music and musicology. Um, I'm a musicologist, caver, climber, slackliner, saxophonist, crab rangoon, enthusiast, clogger. I just had a Hot Pepper Steppers gig. That's why I have pepper skirt and this pepper clip. Um, but I slacklining is where you have like two trees or two solid sturdy things that you put up webbing in between and tighten it with a ratchet strap, and then you walk across it. Some people do tricks on it. I'm not going to be doing any tricks. I might do some silly things today and tomorrow. There's different kinds. So there's high lining, which you may have seen like a decade ago with the Klondike commercial, where they would say like, "What would you do for a Klondike bar?" And then they had this guy like walking across the Grand Canyon. I'm also not doing that today. We'll credit it to there not being a canyon here at this park. So slacklining is a lot of fun. I've been doing it since 2022, and the way that I got into it was, like I said earlier, I'm a climber, and I was climbing a lot in gyms in gyms in Florida, because there's not very many real rocks in Florida to climb, as you may have observed in your time living or visiting Florida. So I climb a lot in gyms, and then I would go on trips outside with my climbing friends from the St. Augustine gym called Stone, and then the Tallahassee gym as well. And one of these trips that I went on in Northwest Georgia, I saw that my friend had a slack line set up, and she offered to show people how to do it. And I was like, whoa, this is really hard and really cool, and it's awesome that she can do it, because she's she's a climber and a figure skater. And I was like, wow, her balance is awesome. And it was a cool way for us to like stay active and moving our body in a way that fosters like body awareness while we were recovering our finger skin from climbing, which takes a lot of that away. So that's kind of how I started. And so once I did it the one time, I moved to Tennessee, and I said, oh, there will be lots of rocks here. Sorry, there's a bug. I said, oh, there will be lots of rocks here for me to climb, because I was living there during the summer, and there weren't a lot of rocks there to climb. So I thought, I want a way that's will allow me to stay in shape and stay active and move my body in ways that I don't get to move it around in social settings and stuff. So I said, okay, I'll get one of those slack lines. So I would set it up before work every day at my grandmother's house. She had a lot of trees in her backyard, a big forest. So I would set it up starting with a short distance between the trees, and as I got better, I would do longer and longer distances, and that's kind of how I started.
All right, we are ready to go. Jenny, would you like the microphone as you get on the first time, or you want to do a few without it? I think you can do it. I know, I think you can do it.
The skateboard guys were so good at that yesterday. I would love to see if I can do it too. You got to stick around for them. They're great. So the skateboard people. Yeah. So I put my foot centered in the middle. You don't want to be like surfing mode or something like that. You want your feet parallel with the line. And a lot of people, when they first try it, they get this terrible like shaking sensation, and you see the line like quivering like that. If you scoot the foot that's still on the ground further underneath it like that, you get less of that. And basically you can just like put your weight on your foot and just stand right up. A lot of beginners will try to look at their feet, which doesn't help you. It's like riding a bike. You want to look out into the distance. So whenever I'm doing it, I just look at the base of the tree that I'm walking towards. So I can talk a little bit, but as you can see, it's helpful for me to use my arms however I need them. And then if I think I'm going to fall or something like that, I just kind of jump off. Yeah. Well, it has to have a little tiny bit of slack. Otherwise, I don't know. And I also put slack in it over time as I walk on it. Like I said, we'll tighten it up some later as I walk on it more. can have people try too if anybody wants to. That being said, I'm not liable for any injuries that may or may occur, and neither is the Folklife tent. It's also easier to balance on one foot. If you kind of get off, that's another mistake a lot of beginners will make too, is they'll be like, I'm about to fall. Why don't I put both feet on the line? If you have one foot dropped off the side, it's easier to kind of balance that way. I'll give you this for a second.
All right, I'm going to take over the mic so Jenny can fully focus on getting on and across. You can do a little backwards action? Yeah, we're going to do a little backwards action. I don't, maybe a little later. All right, round of applause for Jenny.